Oh, right, I forgot one thing, and it's not to go back in on a negative note, but it's 6:39 on the clock when I punched this in. I don't know if I made it, but it was about 6:39. That's what they did with the ISO and the language and everything. All right, ISO 639-1, 639-2, and 639-3. All right, and what they did, what I saw, keeping and in context of what I was speaking on right now, especially when I went over to Tanzania, is that even though people was like saying happy, hi, my name is Happy, happy, you know, uh, whether with the people that I encountered, Mabuze, again, like which means Buze means bad in German, and she spoke like 10 languages, honestly. She spoke French, all kinds of shit. I was like, wow. But what I saw again was that her hair, the witches that was against her, had took her hairline all the way to the back. It was off. It was off. And when I went over there, and like I said, she had bought that little salve, mixed it with some root beer for my feet, and 70 shillings, and said to utilize it. Just look, just look at, okay, and even told her about herself too on that. And kept rolling because I still had to go ahead and complete my mission. So across the street from where her apartment was this lady, an older lady, and she was beautiful. Her spirit radiant. She looked exactly, I kid you not, she looked exactly the kinship to uh, Ethel May Baker LaPrade. And she had a dukkha. Dukkha is where you go ahead and get your little stuff from the corner stores and everything. She had a dukkha right across the street. And it was two people that had different dukkhas, you know what I'm saying? It was a couple on that street, more than a couple. And the two that was directly across and everything was, like I said, the one lady there, and then we had another lady, and she had a daughter that had a baby, you know? And she would go out to go get bread or whatever, food or what have you not, you know, from one of the places that was open or what have you not. But with a particular lady that looked like Grandma Ethel, we call her Gigi, with a particular lady, she was furious with her. I mean, it embarrassed the hell out of me how nasty she was. And the lady did nothing. The lady did nothing except be herself. She had her smile, and the only thing I really got there, was some type of peanuts or something like that, and a couple of sodas and everything, for every single time. Okay. But my boozy, she would go. I mean, like, her spirit inside was irritated with her pleasantness. And that's the same literal verbal words that I heard in the Kiswahili, and even how the one of her friends, I forget what her name was, but they had a house there in Mbezi Beach too, right down the street from one of the famous rappers and everything that was there. And they wanted to learn from her. How does she even like hook me or something like that as a fish, And so when we went over to Zanzibar, they're on the phone talking in Kiswahili, and she went outside the gate, and I'm listening. I picked up enough to fucking understand, you know what I'm saying? And So they were pissed off and said, why don't everybody's pissed off about, why don't you share, you know? And so uh, while I did meet her personally one time before we went over to Zanzibar, they were everybody who I ran into, I kid you not, everybody who I ran into spoke ill, bad. I'm talking about poo-ah bad of Dax. They spoke bad as fuck on Dax. Okay? And that was even prior to me actually meeting him. Then I met him, you know, we just went through and he had, they had this whole uh, thing planned out of the wind and all that type of stuff. And he woke up, he's like facing the sun. He said, oh, Caesar, I can't believe you knocked him out in one. Oh my God. It was so fucking much bad acting going on. I was like, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious? I'm old and not in shape. I could have, oh my goodness. Are you fucking serious? So we still go and we check out. So a lot of things, So the things that I'm going through, even on at this level right here on this phone right here with different people, are really nothing. There's nothing to compare when you go through it in the physical, and you be able to stay inside. Okay, you stay inside with your eyebrows up. Okay, you stay inside with your eyebrows up, and even hey, bow your head. Hey, all right, all right. Even bow your head down and listen to all the fire. I'm beating that gorilla chest or playing. And the reason why I put the monkeys up in the barrel, because when I got back here, I'm vibing with Alex, because Alex is enrolled with the school over there, the cybersecurity, and he's having troubles too. Okay, because I guess they own so much that I don't know if his family was well off, but maybe Dax tribe, part of the family, was richer. And they didn't do nothing when he worked for him for a year, teaching them year plus, teaching them the language, and then kicked him out and then went out into the city and defamed his fucking name like he was the shit. So he went to school over in Arusha. And we were conversing when I was on my road trip. We were conversing on the road trip and everything. And I got the text up there to see it. He says, are you going to sue him? What are you going to do? Look at the horn. Look at the horn. He said, are you going to sue him? He says, because he was going through stuff too at the time, as far as not necessarily from what he said, I didn't have enough money to eat and so forth, and I didn't have the money to give him, but I did meet somebody inside there to where I was conversing with also still, they had a copy shop where I made some copies at. And I asked her to call him up to give him some money so he can go ahead and get some to eat and continue in his studies, because I didn't want him to break, because I knew that cybersecurity, was actually the dealio. And the thing I love about Alex, I call him the diplomat, the diplomat, because the way he carried himself, even through all of that shit that he was going through. Even through all of the, he came over to the house still, respectful. Every single thing that he was going through, he kept it didn't shake his core. And matter of fact, made him say, okay, next level. And he was even giving him, not lending, giving himself away to those NGOs and everything, you know what I'm saying? The NGOs in which they brought in the different mothers. He was actually teaching English to those mothers that did not that only spoke the Kiswahili. Okay, so the way he gave himself and everything, and that's what got me about Alex. And he was like 22, or maybe 22 to 25, well above uh, a Nasir, Nasir, and they was about the same age, but his mental was already fucking on diplomat status. All right, he's the one that you're going to go ahead and send to a country for you to go ahead and represent, whether your company and or slash your country at 20 fucking 2 years old, already instilled into him. So every single thing that people go through, if you don't get caught up in the he say she say, and it can turn you and even you know make you to have a different perspective on either the people, the place, or even the thing that you're going through, may deter you from a lesson or a teaching, whether it be through harshness of treatment and or slash uh, 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 an inclusive one. Okay, feeling included, feeling reciprocal. Everything's reciprocal. But if you can go ahead and get arrange yourself, arrange your molecules inside of your body to say, hey, this is just part of it. This is what I signed up for. Then we go ahead and complete our missions. We'll complete our missions. So that's what I encourage you to do, because it ain't fucking easy. That's for sure. I got you. Somebody about to open it. It's cool. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. That's what I would do if I was you. Because you're going to need all of that for your next phase. Whether it be in this time zone, this quadrant of life, or the next one that's going to call you to remember. All right?